first of all, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. And second, I apologize for this title because it is a brutalization of the language. All right. Um, but what I want to talk to you about is the fact that SnapLogic today is, and I've been with the company going on 9 years now. Excuse me. I got to get my pointer over here. Okay, I've been with the company for almost 9 years now in a variety of roles and responsibilities, but I've focused on enabling our strategic partners and customers to leverage this platform to its fullest degree. As an architect, I don't write code for a living. I'm usually defining the requirements for the pipelines, working with the subject matter experts around the source data and metadata, rules, regulations, performance and security requirements, as well as putting it into some kind of mechanism for consumption, whether that's an application to automate a business process, or whether it is taking that data either in real time, streaming, or in batch, and putting it into analytic dashboards. 20 years ago, everybody wanted a report. Today, people, executives and decision makers, even knowledge workers, want to be able to open up a dashboard and see what's going on with their cash flow, their order backlog, their inventory, their supply chain, their headcount, whatever those metrics are. The ability to acquire that data, process it efficiently, and then put it in the hands of an application to automate a business process, or whether it is to take that data and put it into Power BI or Tableau or any other analytics dashboard, so that you can get the kind of visibility that companies demand now for efficient operation. SnapLogic is a domain neutral technology. It doesn't matter whether you're manufacturing pharmaceuticals, furniture, driving buses, or flying planes, or anything in between, because we become the nervous system that allows businesses to connect systems, HR onboarding. It requires people service tickets be generated in ServiceNow, entries be made in LDAP or Active Directory, accounts be generated in Salesforce or Marketo. Custom applications have to be integrated. So there's a whole series of processes that occur today when businesses want to process an order, onboard an employee, connect a customer. And what SnapLogic does is it provides a level of abstraction on top of low-level functionality to allow more people to be productive. All right, so I like to say that in SnapLogic, we're focused on the what. Well, Iris and SnapLogic and our incredible engineering team focus on the how, presenting you with drag and drop low-code environments that allow you to focus on grabbing that invoice and processing it, or taking that credit memo and approving it, or putting information in the hands of executives as it occurs in real time. So whether it's a triggered task, a scheduled job, streaming a row at a time or a petabyte at a time, the SnapLogic platform allows a larger group of people to solve a larger scope of problems with a singular platform. So, and it comes down to the architecture, its capabilities, and also, the use cases that it can fulfill for businesses around the world. So, it has a depth and breadth of functionality that allows it to replace, ETL legacy technologies, ESB technologies, and application integration. So why have three tools when one platform, one technology can handle all of those? So you have a singular look and feel that allows for your people to be productive. And to SnapLogic, data is data is data. I tell customers and partners, give me a port, give me a protocol, give me an IP address. I will connect to that endpoint quickly and easily, transform it into JSON, and allow a knowledge worker, an architect, a programmer, a supply chain analyst, a marketing analyst to be able to identify what is interesting in that data for them, modify it using standard scripting technology like JavaScript. So you're not writing code, you're defining expressions to manipulate, slice and dice, and do what you want with your data, and then finally deliver it to the target where it can be consumed by an application or a dashboard. So a wide range of people can use this technology to handle a wide range of capabilities. With best practices, SnapLogic has become a competitive advantage for our partners. When our partners use SnapLogic and they're going up against a competitor who's using a more primitive technology like Boomi or MuleSoft, they have a competitive advantage because what takes you 3 weeks to do in a competitive product, you can do in 3 days in SnapLogic. What does that do to your success criteria? What does that do to your user satisfaction? What does that do to your margins? So, our partners, Workday was a partner for years before they became a customer. They resisted using Workday. We got our own, Workday Studio, and everything's fine, all the rest of it. But they kept hearing about customers rave about how they were able to, get Workday online so fast and be able to do so much with SnapLogic. They finally gave us a chance. Now they're not only a SnapLogic partner, they're also a customer. All right, and so for the application integration, so we have, and a good percentage of our business is around HR. So whether it's HR, CRM, supply chain, of course, working with companies like SAP and Microsoft, we have an enterprise footprint, and you can see from the companies there that are both international, like Accenture, but also local teams like Devo and Rojo, in various kinds of partnerships that we have. So whether you're a large multinational or a boutique consulting firm that focuses on a particular area of domain experience, SnapLogic is a competitive advantage if you need to connect systems together as part of your offering. So that is the real reason that SnapLogic is the solution for so many customers and so many partners today, because when you put an intelligent platform in the hands of smart people and get out of the way, wonderful things happen quickly. All right, so SnapLogic is like it's like mathematics. You can do simple calculations, or you can do sophisticated graphs, or you can do mind-boggling, AI models, and it has that scope of capability. So, the end user, the knowledge worker, the citizen integrator can sit down and be productive in SnapLogic in hours, and they can do, any third grader can go out to a database and say, get me all the customers with a country code of United Kingdom. All right, that's third grade SQL. You can do more sophisticated, more advanced things with SQL if the problem demands it, and you have the logic and the capability to understand and create that set theory expression. So SnapLogic is like that. If you can write an expression in Excel, you can use SnapLogic. But that doesn't mean that we inhibit or restrict the advanced users. Sophisticated users can build reusable pipelines, as we call them, integrations, to automate whole business flows at record time. One of our long-term customers compared SnapLogic for supply chain, where using a primitive technology, they would have had to design, build, deploy, and manage over 100 artifacts. Using SnapLogic and best practices, they were able to accomplish the same function with 9 pipelines, 9 integrations. So who's going to be more productive? Who's going to be get to the finish line faster? The guy who has to build 100 pipelines, or the guy who has to build 9? Okay, and that drives to the reusability of it. So when you build something in SnapLogic, you have the ability to reuse that, to share that with yourself, with your team, or pull things down from the outside. And when you build something, you can capture that and share it in things like patterns, which are, think of them as wizard-driven integrations that you're sharing with people to simplify their life. Or you have some pretty neat expressions because you're doing some JavaScript in there, and for some of the more advanced use, you might have a neat little regex expression, or a string manipulation, or even a date time expression that you want to save. You only want to do it once, so you throw it into an expression library, and then you can share that amongst yourself, amongst all your pipelines, and amongst your peers and whatnot. So again, it's about working smarter, sharing resources, having best practices. And that's allowed our partners to create incredible opportunities for themselves, going from a customer onboarding cycle of 9 months to 9 weeks, going from a customer onboarding cycle from 2 months to 2 weeks. All right. So anytime that you have to connect various systems together, SnapLogic becomes that nervous system, that fabric that allows our partners, large and small, to be able to connect all of those systems to automate business processing. So depending on how am I doing time-wise? Yeah, I think we're okay. So depending on the orientation of your business, if you are an end customer or a partner who wants to build a SnapLogic practice, there's a couple of different ways that you can do it. Typically, you're going to have a domain experience around, ITSM solutions or virtual desktops or, finance or something like that. So there may be a specific channel that you do in terms of order to cash or financial management, or you could be, in the specialize in a particular, domain, heavy construction, municipal, high tech, whatever. So we allow our partners to be able to build a practice, creating a profitable, a repeatable solution that it can go to its customers with, build deeper relationships with by increasing the automation and the capability of the customer, increasing their satisfaction of using our partner consulting services, knowledge, and technology. So as you see here, it's from HR all the way through ITSM. It's all just connecting the dots for SnapLogic. All right, so the advantage that our partners have when they're doing multiple deployments is that because using best practices and that reusability that I talked about earlier, you're able to build integrations for the first customer, or in the case of a corporation, you're able to create a business solution for a particular process, and then share that amongst teams. Yesterday, Elgin and I did a presentation, a webinar around HR onboarding at another session, and Zach showed a pipeline that, depending on what parameters it was given at runtime, could either handle employee onboarding or employee offboarding by merely changing a few of the parameters of that same integration. So think about the efficiency of that. Rather than having to create and manage two different artifacts, you got one. So that kind of capability, that kind of reusability, that kind of abstraction is why SnapLogic is the fastest way from opportunity to solution, or problem to solution, using SnapLogic. So in this environment, you build what we call universal pipelines and tasks. These are the things that, whether you're a partner or customer, everybody does it. As you heard from John about air handling, you have the simple air handling. There's various tiers of it that you're doing depending on is it air handling for a transaction or air handling for a petabyte of data that you're trying to download, and what are the kinds of errors that you have to process? Do you want to do like automated retry and whatnot? So there could be simple air handling, or there can be very sophisticated one. Air processing, supporting CI/CD every night. Run a SnapLogic pipeline. Big surprise, that uploads all of your content to GitHub. You want to archive your logs and metadata for regulatory requirements and whatnot. So these things you build and then you share across the organization or across your customer base. The solution pipelines, we don't build integrations anymore. We build process automation. So order to cash. So someone goes into Success Factors or Workday, and they basically say, we need to hire this person. Well, they have to be converted in Workday from an applicant into an employee. They have to be assigned a job. There's a whole bunch of stuff that has to be given that. And then, of course, a ticket has to be generated in ServiceNow, an entry put into a Snowflake database for people analytics. And a bespoke application, maybe a database or two that they need to be added in so they have access to resources appropriate to, are they a salesperson, an engineer, an executive, whatever. So those kinds of pipelines or integrations you build and then you share across similar use cases. So pipelines and patterns really leverage the loosely coupled streaming nature of the platform. In its essence, SnapLogic is a loosely coupled streaming document engine. All right, there's 3 data types in SnapLogic: string, number, sysdate, time. All right, and with that loose coupling and the ability for it to ingest just about any kind of data, tabular data from relational databases, flat files, XML documents, SOAP messages, JSON documents, anything with an industry standard protocol that we can, our snaps can basically read them up off of a standard file system or an industry standard API, pull them in, and inside of SnapLogic, they're JSON documents that the user then manipulates as they see fit, not writing code using JavaScript expressions. All right, so these pipelines are reusable. All right, and that's one of the huge advantages that you have. So with SnapLogic, it's like what Yoda said, is like you must unlearn, because this is not your father's Boomi. This is not your uncle's Informatica, and this certainly isn't your dad's data stage. This is a different beast. It has the capability to do it a row at a time or a petabyte at a time, and you do it by building a team and creating a path for success. So SnapLogic has certifications. How am I doing time-wise? Less than a minute. Okay, so with that, I apologize, I went a little over, but as you can see here, it's about the platform is designed for success, for our customers, for our partners, from a technology perspective, a business perspective, and a personal perspective. I mean, I've been with this company for 9 years. All right, they're stand-up. We have a lot of fun doing what we're doing. We solve some interesting problems, and it's a great company to do business with. And with that, I'll thank you. And John, back to you.